Hi folks, welcome back to Stacey Can. Today I am making habanero gold jelly. Doesn't that sound fun? I'm excited. I like all these kind of like savory type jellies, jams, whatever, because they can really bring out and brighten a dish that you might be a little tired of, or you just need a little variety for something. These do a great job of giving you a little pizzazz without a lot of extra work. This only makes about 3 half pints, so it's not a lot, which is wonderful. So this would be an easy refrigerator one if you don't want to water bath. I'm going to water bath, and I just brought out my stock pot today. I'm just doing, because it holds, you know, about 5 half pints really well, so I'm just using this today. While I go over all the information, you can follow along down below in the show notes and hit like and subscribe while you're down there, because that does help. So the ingredients that you need are 1/3 cup of dried apricots that are finely sliced, 3/4 cup of white vinegar, 1/4 cup of red onion, finely chopped, 1/4 cup of red bell pepper, finely chopped, and 1/4 cup of the habanero peppers that are finely chopped and seeded. If you want a little more heat, you can add the seed or add some seeds, whatever you want to do, but the seeds are what give it the heat. So there's not really a lot of heat in a bell pepper. The smaller the pepper, the hotter they are, is often the case. And then 3 cups of sugar, and then 1 pouch of liquid pectin. So, and then the tools that you need. You know, I got my stock pot, I got my a pot to cook it in, and then also a pot here just to heat up the lids, because I will be heating the lids today. Some gloves when you're handling the peppers. It's a really good idea to have some gloves of some sort to wear, because those oils get under your nails and in your cuticles, and they'll burn for a few days. But you also need your, you know, our ladle, our funnel here, Headspace tool, lid lifter, and our jar lifter as well. There's probably a spatula in there too, and just some of your basic cooking tools. But this is a pretty fast recipe, except for the apricots, and I'll go over that in a minute. But let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're gonna do, and this is something you need to do ahead of time, so you need to do it the night before, or at least 4 hours prior to making it, is you wanna very thinly slice these, the apricots. And there are 2 types of apricots that you can use. You can use the organic kind, which when they're dried organically, they turn brown. Apricots do, because if you buy them in the store and they look like this, they've been treated with a little CO2. And the ones that aren't treated are a little bit sweeter. These are treated to retain that nice little orangey color. You do you on this, but to give it that golden color, I think the apricots, if they are not, if they are the darker ones, I think it might turn it kind of more of a muddy color than this bright gold jelly that, you know, is in the title of the recipe, habanero gold. So you want them really thin. This is about how thin they are, as thin as possible. And then you put them in a container. You can do it in the stock pot, whatever, and then add your 3/4 cup of vinegar to this, and just let it set, like I said, overnight on the counter, room temperature, or in the stock pot that you're going to use to cook it all. So I have already done that, but this is just an example of how thin you need to slice them. The next thing I'm going to do is prep the rest of my ingredients, measure out my sugar, and then chop these veggies up, the peppers and the onion up into really small, finely chopped pieces. Yeah, you can thinly slice, as they recommend to do, just kind of thinly slice the bell peppers and just finely chop them to get your 1/4 cup. You can do the same thing with the onion and with the habaneros, or you can use a food chopper like this, which is what I'm gonna do. It may not be as uniform as if you're stacking everything up, but I don't personally care. If you want beautifully stacked and beautifully chopped up veggies, then you need to come here and do it yourself. I love my little food chopper. I love it. It's just quick and easy. So I am putting on my glove because I'm going to be dealing with these peppers and I do not like having the hurdy hands if I don't use them. And I am going to just gently open these up. I'm going to de-seed as much as possible, but I'm gonna keep some of the seeds just in case. Got everything chopped and the sugar measured out, and I've set aside some of the seeds that I'll sprinkle in when we combine everything together. So let's get going. So I've got my apricots that have been soaking in vinegar, and I'm going ahead and dumping these into the pot. And they really did brighten up quite a bit. Adding in the red onion, 1/4 cup of red onion. And again, that was a 1/4 cup thinly sliced apricot with 3/4 cup of white vinegar soaking overnight. And then I've got my 1/4 cup of red bell pepper that's finely chopped, 1/4 cup of habanero peppers that are finely chopped as well. And I am going to add, out of all these seeds, I'm gonna add about that much. I think that's enough. I don't want it too hot for me. I've got plans for it, and I've got family members who have sensitive mouths, so I'm not adding too much to it. And then we're adding in the 3 cups of sugar. I'm gonna kick the heat up here, and we're gonna bring this up to a rolling boil. And you do want to stir this constantly while it comes to a boil. All right, it has come to a rolling boil that you can't stir away, and I'm pouring in the pectin, and we're going quick here with the pectin. So just make sure you get it to another boil here, and set a timer for 1 minute. Keep an eye on it, and you want to boil this hard. Okay, so we are done boiling this, and let's go ahead and jar it up, and we're gonna kind of move quickly here. I've got my jars heating up in the canner, and we're filling these to a 1/4 of an inch headspace. You can also skim off the foam here if you want. I never do. It's just a step I don't care about. Some people like the aesthetic. I don't care. Again, if you want it pretty like that, you need to come do it yourself. And I do not bubble. We need just a little bit more. I do not bubble with jams because it sets up, especially these jellies like this, they set up really quickly, and I just think it puts more air into the jar. And now I'm using the lid water here, and I'm cleaning the rim really well because it is sticky. Using my jar lifter here, or lid lifter here, and a ring, adding my ring. Be careful, it's just a fingertip tight. It's hot potatoes, so be careful. And then up and over and into the canner. Got all the jars in the canner here, and I turn the heat up to high, and when it comes to a rolling boil, I'll set a timer. Got a rolling boil in the pot here, so I've set the timer for 10 minutes for my altitude. For more altitude information for your area, you can check over here off to the side or down below in the show notes. 10-minute timer has gone off, so I'm cutting the heat, and we're gonna take the lid off. Be careful when you open the lid, open it away from your face. It's very, very hot steam. Might give you a facial you don't want. And we're gonna set another timer for 5 minutes to let the food in the jar settle. The 5-minute timer has gone off for the resting period. I'm gonna go ahead and take the jars out of the canner. We're gonna be very careful. There has been some separation. And this is how we make some habanero gold jelly. And it made these 3½ pints plus a little bit extra. It was not enough to, I didn't quite get a full jar, so I'm putting a lid on this and then putting it in the refrigerator. But it's really, really good. Oh my goodness, it's good. There is some heat to it because I did put in the seeds in there, but there would be a little bit of heat to this anyway, just because of the habaneros. You can switch out the habanero. We got a seal. You can switch out the habanero for some serranos, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but just stick with the habanero. It's a spicy jelly. It just is. But you don't have to put the seeds in, and you can make sure to devein the habanero too. They've got little tiny veins in there. But it is very, very tasty. Oh my goodness, really, it's very savory. The sugar that's in it cuts the heat a little bit, but it's much more savory than sweet by a long shot. So this would be fantastic as a marinade. You mix in some olive oil and a little vinegar with it, some salt and pepper, and you know, marinate some chicken with it, some your favorite protein. It would be great on pork. It would be really good on pork, actually. Real peppery. For that, you can put on a like a white fish. I wouldn't do it with a salmon. That would be, salmon's got great flavor on its own, in my opinion. So I think I like more of a citrus thing, or if you like brown sugar with that, that's fine. But it would be too combative, I think, in flavoring. That's my opinion. You do you. So, or over some top of a brie or a nice cream cheese or something. Oh my goodness, it would be fantastic. So good. You can even make a salad dressing with it. Or you just, again, mixing in some olive oil and a little, I would say like I'd do a white vinegar, maybe red wine vinegar, add this in with it and stir it up, and you have a nice spicy salad dressing for it too. So there's some options for you. The recipe for this is down below in the show notes, so while you're down there, please hit like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, feedback, concerns, by all means, please reach out to me. I'm on Facebook at Stacey Can Can. You can at me on Instagram and TikTok at Stacey Can Can. My website is www.staceycancan.com. My email is info@staceycancan. And also on LinkedIn and Pinterest at Stacey Can Can. Thanks so much for joining me today.